Hello? Is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I'm sitting over here, but you're looking down there. And I want to tell you so much that we're running out of time. So we've got to hit start now.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Sassy pants. Good God.
Those aren't my sassy pants.
No?
These are just my beautifully fitting white. Hello.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Welcome to my home.
You mean my home?
Okay, it's neither of our homes.
But it is our podcast.
Glitter and gay.
Coming your way.
So thanks for tuning in today. Well, Glennda, would you like to share with everybody what you were just texting about? Because we're dying to know. You seem like you got like a little jolt of energy over there. And it just makes me ever so curious what was on the other end of that phone.
You know,
Were you replaying that video you told me about in the dating episode?
no, you know, it's funny. It's really interesting, like how like a text message, a photo, you know, like takes you to like that place of excitement.
Totally.
Or seeing a post like Victoria posted about my little grandsons. But I think that anytime that you get communicated to by someone that's important, special, intriguing to you, that I think, I don't know about you, but my mind wanders to what if.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you think, so I'm definitely a what if wanderer. Do you think that that's a healthy thing for us to do?
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. Kane Brown, country music singer, has a song called What If? What Ifs. And I mean, every time I listen to that song, and it was mentioned in a romance novel by Gabe. And I mean, just every time I listen to that song, I think a lot of people think that you should never ever like fantasize, romanticize the possibilities because you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I have to tell you, I would totally disagree with it, because it's almost like telling you don't do a vision board. Don't believe it's like limiting what's possible. And I am all about what's possible. And I remember, and we've talked about before, that, you know, I had been seeing someone, and I talked to my girlfriend, and I had said, but what if it doesn't work? You know, what if it doesn't work? Like, and she said to me, she goes, what if it doesn't work? Who cares?
Right.
Because think about all of the things that what if it does work, or what if it works for right now? Like, what opportunity are you missing because of fear? You know, what is it? Why is it? Are we just so programmed to expect disappointment that we're afraid to dream? And so for me, I mean, when I get a text from somebody, you know, that I'm interested in or intrigued by, it does. It's like a little spark, and I love it. And
well, so this is a moment of me feeling like I'm not alone, because for me, that happens pretty quickly. You know, sometimes like, even if I am literally maybe have just gone on one date with somebody and we're texting again after the date, my brain will often do that. Would be like, oh, like what if this becomes like a thing? And like what if this turns into something special? And as a matter of fact, I've also learned if my brain can't go there, I'm like, we've got very little chance here.
Yeah.
Like if I just can't even like get excited about a hypothetical situation with you, I don't know if I'm going to get excited about the real one either. And so it's usually like a pretty good telltale sign for me where my brain is going as to whether or not I'm actually kind of having like a chemical connection with somebody.
Well, And I mean, the thing about it is I mean, just like that person that I had seen, like he had great text game, and I was with you, and I had just like started kind of texting him on the last time that I was with you, and the guy had great text. You know, I guess not great sex, great texts, and it was so funny because I made the comment that by the time and when I met him, I realized he had embellished his height.
Wait, hold on. I got a voice note from you. Am I allowed to repeat this?
I don't know.
I guess we're gonna find out. You said, Tyler, he told me he was 6 feet, but I do not believe he was 6 feet. And you said it with such disdain that I thought you were about to tell me like some awful, terrible thing that he had done. And I was like, well, I was like, did you like me? I was like, he told me he was 6 feet. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh. And you're like, so he is out.
Well, but he wasn't. So
Do you think was he like 5'7", 5'8"?
No, he was 5'10".
Okay.
Okay, because I'm 5'8". The heels that I had on were 3 inches. That made me 5'11", and it made him a little bit less than me, so I know that he was 5'10". But I made the comment yesterday or the day before yesterday, he could have been a munchkin and I would have looked past it, like literally, because his text game was so good. His text game was so good that literally I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, he used this line on me that literally, I mean, I was like a lamb to the slaughter. But again, like,
Are we having a dating episode again?
I'm like, how the fuck did we get here? No. This is the thing. It's like, we started off the difference between your circle and your corner. Right?
I've been hearing you talk. We haven't actually said that yet. We talked about it off camera.
Okay.
But I'm very curious because you've been talking a lot about this.
Oh my God.
It's not so much in my wheelhouse. So
oh my gosh. I don't know how it cannot be in your wheelhouse.
preach to me.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you, Trent Shelton, I found him on social media, TikTok, and he says one of the most valuable lessons that you can learn is that everybody in your circle isn't in your corner. And it's so funny because last night we were at dinner and you said, what was the book that you were reading about the MMA fighter that was about, you know, your circle and your corner? And I looked at you kind of strange. I was like, what's he talking about? And I said to you, oh, goodness gracious, it was a romance novel. So the romance novel was not about your circle and your corner, but Trent Shelton had talked about the difference between your circle and your corner. And what connected the dots back for me is because a fighter, boxer, MMA, whatever kind of fighter person, they have their people in their corner. Okay. And those are the people that protect them, prepare them, and fix them if they're injured. So they prepare, they protect, and they fix them if they're injured. And those are really the 3 people or the 3 criteria for someone who's in your corner. And, you know, you're a good looking, popular guy, you're on reality television, you're the big time real estate broker. Everybody wants to be in your circle because they're there for the hype. The people in your corner are there to watch you make history. And I honestly believe that. I mean, with every fiber of my being, I believe that. And
I just got chills when you said that.
Really?
Yeah, because I do feel like that. And sometimes it's based in an insecurity, but like I have so many great friends, people that I know really love me. And then there's sometimes like I'll pick up a stray.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're wanting to hang out a lot, not in a romantic way.
No.
And I'm kind of like, where'd you come from? Why do you all of a sudden have like this huge interest in me?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, you're here.
Here for the hype.
Because to be honest, I forget that I have these things.
Yeah.
Because like I'm just living. I'm just like going through the world and like it all feels normal to me.
Yeah.
And then somewhere, and I don't trust it. I'm like, well, we just met you. Why do you want to hang out every day immediately? But not have sex. I'm like,
or it's the people that are there for the picture.
Yeah.
Like to me, there's a difference. I'm going to give you a great example. I went to a conference and, you know, lots of people want to take pictures. Lots of people want to meet me. They have questions, you know, whatever. And the selfie or the picture with somebody is the autograph of 2022, you know?
Yeah.
And so
I've never been asked to sign anything.
no, but back when I was a teenager,
That's what you did.
like getting somebody's autograph was like,
Sign my inner thigh.
like I have Dominique Wilkins' autograph. Like I didn't, you know, was what I wanted. And so the people that are in your circle, those are the people that are there for the hype. And it was funny because we were having dinner, or I'm not going to say that, but anyway, so
I actually know what story I think you're about to tell.
I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that I didn't realize that. And for somebody who was the last kid picked on the playground, for somebody who loves the feeling of feeling loved, it's very easy to get excited about the circle, because those people are like feeding that ego.
Of course.
They're feeding you.
Do you think, from what you're telling me so far, I don't think it's necessarily being a member of the circle. Does that strictly mean that they're there for the hype? Because like I have friends who are in my circle who I go out with and we have a nice time.
Yeah.
And like I enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, I call that my like peripheral friendships.
Yeah. Circle.
Yeah, those are circle friendships. And you know, I have their back for sure, and I think they've got my back. But like, are we calling in and checking on each other? And are we, you know, fully up to date with what's going on in each other's lives? Are we saying like, hey, how's it going towards whatever project you're working on? No, I've probably got 3 or 4 of those people in my life. And I think that's a beautiful amount of those like corner people to have. So I'm curious from like your perspective, is being somebody in the circle, is that a negative place to be? Does that automatically mean it's just like somebody who's there for the hype?
No.
Or can it just be like,
I mean, I
we're
think,
casual friends?
I think that the people in the circle are absolutely instrumental in your life, because we all need like that, you know, that stroking, let's call it. And I think that they serve a purpose. I think what becomes detrimental is thinking that people in the circle are in your corner.
Right.
And they're not.
Right.
And knowing the difference and being able to reconcile the difference quickly is critical, I think, in your personal growth. I think it's critical in your day-to-day life. I mean, it's funny because for me, I look at the people like, who would hold my hair back when I threw up? Like,
Same.
You know, when you're drinking, you throw up a lot. And so like that person that's going to hold your hair back when you throw up, like that's, you know, that person really cares about you.
Of course.
The person who, if you're about to get run over by a bus, that would risk their own life to pull you out from in front of the bus, that person is in your corner. But the people that are in your circle, while they may be, you know, have intimate knowledge of your life and, you know, things that are important to you, if you weren't where you were, would they still be there?
I get that. I do. I'm processing it as you're saying it. I watched an interview between Oprah and Brene Brown. And if I remember correctly, because I watched this a while ago, but it stuck with me because I was always one of those people who, I do have a few very close friends, and I feel so lucky to have those friends. They're my ride or dies. I can always be honest with them, even when the truth is not my proudest moment. And they were talking about having those super deep friendship connections. And Oprah was like, most people think that you need to have tons and tons and tons of these. She's like, I think, if you find one, you've hit the jackpot. She's like, because finding this level of friendship is a very rare thing. Finding that one person that you can like really, you say like, here's what happened. This is the truth. And trust that you can be fully honest with them and they're still going to love you on the other side is a very rare connection. And she's like, and if you find two, you've hit the jackpot. And if you find three, she's like, I don't think you know what I'm talking about. And and it was like an interesting thing for me to wrap my head around. Cause I look out, especially in like the New York City gay scene, right? There's like a lot of like gay circles of friends. And I'm like, I definitely have like my gay friends and like my gay friends that I love to do gay culture with and go out and do their things. But I'm like, there are some that I'm like, they're gigantic. I was like, they post that they're having a party and the house is full. I was like, I don't even think I have that many numbers in my phone to like invite to this party, And so, but by comparison, I look at that and I'm like, are they actually that close? Or is this just a comfort thing that they do to go hang out? Like, are they really there for each other? And I'll never know. It's not like I'm going to go around and pull them. Do you actually like this person? But it's interesting whenever you don't feel like you have that or you're not part of it, because then automatically you assume the problem is with you. You assume like, why don't I have these things? Why don't I have those kind of relationships? I'm curious, how do you sniff it out?
All things are revealed in time. Mm-hmm. I definitely have not been the poster child for understanding the difference. I think that, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I am abundantly blessed with people that love me, are there for me, and who are in my corner. I understand when Oprah or Brene Brown talk about one or two or three. Like, I understand what they're saying. I don't know that I agree with that, because I could name 5 people that no matter what they were doing, if I needed them, they would come to me, no matter what, no matter where I was in the world. Mm-hmm. So I think that there are a limited amount of people that are in your corner by design. And I think that you need to understand the reason, season, lifetime. Because again, there are some people that come through your life that spare you or prepare you. Mm-hmm. That help you grow as a person.
Right.
And so I think that you have to, number one, understand where you are. I think that what gets you closer to the corner is being very self-aware, knowing where you are in life. And the more you know who you are, the easier it is to sniff out the people that are around you for the right reasons. I think it's just that simple.
Yeah. I think the challenge is that it's hard to lose or hard to keep like your eyes on the prize if your circle is not full of the right people, right, and you have people who are saying you've lost your mind, you're crazy, and you start to hear that again and again. It's one thing to hear it from like 1 or 2 people in your circle, but if you start to hear it from a lot of your circle, then that becomes a very contagious disease and you will probably catch it.
Well, and you're distracted.
Of course.
I think that that's probably the collateral damage that most people don't understand, is that when you have all of these people around you, all of these people in your circle, all of these people for their own agenda, that it's very easy to become distracted. It's very easy to make the wrong right next move, it's very easy to become the prey, because when someone is around you, when their intentions aren't in your best interest, if they don't want you to know that, it's difficult to know it.
Well, I want to go back because you were talking about like that wrong next right move.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're using like the analogy, you've got the boxer in the corner, getting ready, go out in the ring, right? The idea of before you even get in the ring, the opinions of people around you. I heard a great quote on TikTok, and it was like, people are full of self-doubt while everybody around them is full of fear that that person's going to reach their full potential.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think about that because, you know, that's where a lot of like these outside opinions are coming from, especially if like you're in a competitive world. You know, these people are afraid that you're going to do everything that you really say you're going to do. And what is that going to mean for them? And as we are like going for these big lives, like trying to live these big dreams, we get lost in the sight of like that big thing and realize like the only way it happens is like these little baby steps down here. You know, I say it's kind of like climbing a spiral staircase, and you're just taking one tiny step after another, and you're looking down and you're watching your feet go up. And then, you know, you do that for a long time. All of a sudden you lift your head up and you're in a completely different atmosphere. Yeah. Everything around you is completely different. And some of those people from your circle are still there, and they're like, told you you were going to do it. And then a lot of people have disappeared. And I think that's like part of life.
It's the compound effect.
It is the compounding effect.
I love Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect, one of my favorite books of all time. It's those small incremental steps that you take that get you to make history. And again, I go back to the people in your circle are there because they're like, oh, wow, Glenda's going to do this video thing. Glenda's going to do this video thing. Wow, she's getting good at video. She's getting good at video. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a minute. She's getting good at video. Like, why am I not doing? I need to be watching her and doing the videos. It transitions when their intentions aren't in your best interest. You almost can see the transition from hype to jealousy to trying to undermine where you're going. And so again, I stick to 100% that the people in your circle are there for the hype, and the people who are in your corner are there to watch you and help you make history.
It was, you just reminded me when for years ago, I started doing those Whitman wisdom videos. Yeah. And honestly, I didn't get a lot of hype up front because nobody was doing videos back then. Right. And mine were quirky from the start. And so many people were like, you are committing career suicide. Yeah. Like, what are you? And they almost felt like they were giving me advice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they were like, I can't believe like this is the kind of content you're putting out.
Right.
You know, and I was like, I don't know, it's kind of working for me. And meanwhile, actually clients were like, I saw your video. I thought it was so cute. And it was real estate agents being like, and then after a while, I was starting to get some results. Yeah. And I would start sharing those results. And I was like, guys, this has never happened in my career before. Right. I was like, but this kind of person is meeting with me, and this person now trusts me. And like, I'm starting to have like some proof of concept here. And people were like, yeah, I'm really happy for you, but that's not going to work in like my luxury market. Right. I was like, I live in the most expensive city in the country, but okay. And I was like, whatever. And then as it continued to grow, all of a sudden, you know, those videos are what led me to get cast on $1 Million Listing. And the amount of insults that I got from industry people being on $1 Million Listing of like, Tyler doesn't belong there. What is he doing? Meanwhile, those same people are like, I was just about to like call out some names of shows, but you know, they've all started their version of alliterated Whitman wisdom, you know, and I just like see them out there. And at first I was like rolling my eyes, and I was like, you who've been insulting me for doing this for the last 3 years are now like pulling it up by the bootstraps and trying to do your own version. And now I just choose to take it as a compliment. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, And I feel like I was like a video trailblazer back then, and I kind of like hang my hat on it. But the truth of the matter is like there were people in my market who were making much different videos, but I was like, oh, I could do my version of that. I could do that and put my stamp on it.
Yeah. Tylerize it.
Yeah. Oh, I Tylerized the shit out of it.
You did.
And at the time I didn't realize it, but going in and creating these videos, sitting down and making this podcast, these are all the next right steps.
Yeah.
This is all adding to our compound.
Absolutely.
But it can't be the only thing.
Yeah.
Like if this is the last podcast we make, then nothing will come of it.
Right.
Right.
And in fact, that segues into, are we taking a break or not?
No, let's just go through.
I'm telling you, it's the momentum.
It's
you
the
got to
momentum.
keep the momentum. You know, people are
There
like,
will be no break between season 1 and season 2. However, because we're halfway through season 2 right now, you already knew that.
you think you are so fucking cute. Like you think you are so cute. But I'm living in the real moment right now.
I know. I just think it's, and you know what else is real about this moment?
It's time for pineapples.
It sure is. A Pineapple Express. The Napples want to hear
The Sparkle Squad.
I don't mind the Sparkle Squad. I like the sparklers though. I just like the sparklers, and then I get the idea of them.
The sparklers? Okay.
I don't know about a burning question, but I've got a burning comment. So, two of my absolute favorite people, and now you've got a podcast together, and I'm listening. I thought I knew you guys so well, but you're just being the best of you, vulnerable and loving and open. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. It is so entertaining. And like you guys, the two of you do all the time out there for everyone in the world. Bringing a little light into this darkness. All right. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.
I almost got like choked up. I mean, that was Steve Cohen. And talk about somebody that I feel like is in my business corner. I mean, I met him I was like, why do I recognize this voice? And then I was like, oh, right, because it's Steve Cohen. And he is just a ball of love and positivity. And I remember I met him at a Tom Ferry convention, like one of the first ones I went to. And it's so weird that he's the voicemail right now because I had posted a couple of my first Whitman wisdoms. And this was after that Tom Ferry convention, and he sends me like a Facebook message, and he was like, I love your videos. Can we grab lunch? And we went to the East Pole, which is a great restaurant on the Upper East Side. And we sit down, and he's like, I have to tell you. He was like, I think real estate's going to be big for you. He was like, but you were destined for the screen. He was like, I can't scroll down my Facebook. He's like, you're the only video that I stopped to watch. And he was just so complimentary, and it felt so real and authentic and genuine. And he was like, I think you're going to do really well in real estate. He's like, but I think there's a much, much bigger thing coming your way. And he has been a supporter for me at every step of the way. I mean, he is always there to cheer me on. And, you know, he could be one of those egotistical real estate agents so easily because he is one of the top real estate agents in the city. He sells home after home after home, and he doesn't brag about it. He doesn't have an ego. He is just a beautiful example of what it's like to be somebody with integrity, with a strong heart. You're having an emotional reaction, I see.
So I met him at Tom Ferry and connected right off the bat with him. Mm-hmm. We went to dinner, just the two of us, the last night, and just felt this like huge connection with him. And, you know, talked to him off and on. And I'm in San Diego, I'm almost positive. And we go to dinner, just the two of us again. And he goes, "Oh, goodness. Something's really bothering you." And I think he was probably one of the first people that I shared with that I knew that my marriage was coming to an end. And I go back to the statement, if you have one person, if you have two people, if you have three people, you don't know what I'm talking about. And I so disagree with that.
Well, now I do too,
Because here is somebody who lives with such integrity, who has zero agenda, literally only looks for what is best for you, and cheers for you, not from the sidelines, but by your side. And I cannot believe that of this, because we don't know who the voicemail is going to be
it
from.
was labeled as number 6.
And we don't even know what the episode's order is going to be until from the airport to appetizers
Right.
last night. We just made up the
No, that was like a God moment for sure.
And so I sat here and I listened to his voice, and I just think, like, listening to his voice, like, I see us sitting in that restaurant right now and just him saying to me, "Oh, goodness gracious. Like, what's going on? Talk to me." And knowing that you have that type of unconditional love, unconditional support, non-judgmental, just completely, that you can be vulnerable and authentic and open with. So for me, again, I am so abundantly blessed to be surrounded by this army of Spartans. So, yeah.
You mean army of sparklers? Listen, I gave it a new try.
I actually love the whole sparkler thing. I really think that maybe we should do like you know how like the football team comes out and runs through the like the people on either side, and like the wedding people, when they leave the wedding, people hold sparklers now instead of throw rice. I really think that like we could really do something with sparkler. I like, it's a hell of a lot better than an apple.
I don't know that I agree with that, but I am a man of compromise in my old age. Thank you for tuning in today. What would we like them to do, Glennda?
Like, share, subscribe, rate, and review.
Oh, I love that you put on your porn voice halfway through. That's all. I don't need feedback. Thank you.